Good morning, afternoon, and evening to everybody watching this now or in the future. Today, this is another tier list from the guy that makes random tier lists back. Today will be my first tier list about Pokemon, an incredibly popular franchise of video games, TV shows, cards, toys, everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of Pokemon, right? So we're going to be doing our first tier list about it, and we're going to start with the starter Pokemon. So these are the Pokemon that you start with in the game, hence the word starter. So when you first begin the game, one of these Pokemon will be the first one you pick. Depending on the game, you usually have three choices and you get to pick one. As you can see from the colors, most of the time you get three choices in a grass starter, a fire, and a water. So you have a choice between one of those three. And these are all of the starters up to the present time. And then we also have Pikachu in here, the most popular Pokemon, which is a little bit of a special case. So, our tier list today starts with best at the top, then we have great, good, average, and worst. For the most part, our Pokemon are going to this will probably be a top-heavy tier list just because I do think a lot of these designs are good. And by the way, we are ranking today based on design. I'm not going to be talking about how good these Pokemon are, like in battle or how influential they are or anything like that. We're going to be talking about their designs and how they look. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. With our best designs, we're going to be hopping to the top very quickly here. I really like all three of the original Kanto starters, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. It's probably nostalgia as well, but I think all these starters look awesome, even though now, looking back, they are a little simple compared to some of the newer ones. But I think they're just so iconic. I love having any of these three on a team now. Next, we have Pikachu. Pikachu, I'm going to put in great tier. Pikachu is very iconic. Personally, I like the design of its evolution Raichu a lot better, though, so that would be in best for me. But Pikachu here in the great tier. Next, we have our Johto starter. So this is our Generation 1, the first series of games. Now we have Generation 2 coming up, the Johto starters. Chikorita, I think, is an average design. I'm not as big a fan as Chikorita. Not as big of a fan of its design. I almost said her, but I guess it could be male or female. Next, we have Cyndaquil here. Cyndaquil, I really like the design of it as the flames coming out of its back. But the thing that they have done the last couple games for some reason is when they show Cyndaquil and its evolutions, they a lot of times don't show the fire on its back. And I feel like that just makes it look like a naked mole rat. Like, it just doesn't look good. So it's dropped down. If they always showed the fire, it'd probably be higher up here. But I'm going to put it in good tier. And then we have Totodile. I think Totodile is a great design Pokemon. Perfect kind of water dinosaur, alligator type Pokemon. Really good design. It starts off very cute and then turns into a ferocious, giant lizard. So next we have the Hoenn starters. So moving now into the third generation of games. Starting off here with Treecko. I like Treecko's evolutions, like what it turns into. But I'm not as big a fan of it to begin with. So I'm going to put it in good. Next we have Torchic. Torchic, I think, is a great design overall for what they're trying to do. Obviously, it's a fire chicken. And it's very obvious what it is. And it turns into a giant fighting chicken. Well, I guess it's not really even a chicken anymore at that point. So, I don't know. This design for Torchic itself, we're going to put it in great. Mudkip's average. Nothing really to write home about. I really, really like the design of Mega Marshtomp, like its final evolution in the Mega form. That's a lot better than just its regular evolution, in my opinion. But starting with Mudkip, I got to put that just in average. Next, we have the Sinnoh starters. And at this point, I'm going to start to forget a couple of these names. Even though I had a Turtwig and I had its evolution, I use this Pokemon a lot. So Turtwig, is it a best? Does it go all the way up to best just on its design alone? I like it. It's a snapping turtle. It's a grass snapping turtle. I think that's going to go in best for me. This is going to be completely opinion based, in case that wasn't clear. Chimchar. It's a fire monkey. It evolves into a bigger fire monkey. Pretty great design. Nothing to complain about. And Piplup. It's a water penguin. Turns into a bigger water penguin. Nothing to complain about there. I think they did a really good job with the Sinnoh starters. Next, we have the Unova starters. So taking a look at these ones, we have Snivy here. Is Snivy going to be our first worst entry? I just don't. Snivy starts with these little legs, and that's fine, but then it loses the little arms and legs when it evolves. I want to like Snivy, but if I have to put any of these in worst, that's probably the one I put here. Probably be a couple more to join it. Tepig, I think, is average. It's a fire pig. Evolves into a bigger fighting fire pig, but it's like the third in a row firefighting starter. So I'm not a huge fan of that, and I think the design is, it's fine. Nothing bad. Next we have Oshawott here. It's fine. It's all right. Don't have much else to say about it. Next here we have Chespin. Again, Chespin's fine. Nothing really to say more about it. Some of these are just, it's fine. It's whatever. Chespin evolves into Chestnut, who a lot of people don't like Chestnut. He's a big, hulking, kind of grass fighting Pokemon, but I don't have any problems with it. At some point, I'll probably do a tier list of the final evolutions, too, to see those. But for now, I'll put Chespin here in average. Fennekin, I think, is good. It's a Firefox, and that's what it looks like. I think it's a nice starter. It gives me some kind of original starter vibes with the, being on four legs and stuff. I think it's a callback. A lot of the grass ones were like that, but I think it just fits that kind of starter vibe better than some of these other ones. Froakie, I think, is a good design. It's a water frog. And it evolves into Frogadier and Greninja, who are all great. I think I'm actually going to put Froakie here in great. I think it's a great design. And it evolves into Greninja, which is just an awesome ninja water frog. So that's pretty cool. Next, we have Rowlet. A lot of people don't like Rowlet. I do. I think it's great. It's a grass owl. So I don't know. I used Rowlet and its evolutions in my first playthrough of Sun and Moon. So yeah. Litten, I also think is a really good design. It is a fire cat that evolves into a big fighting fire cat. And I just love how it looks. I love the eyes. So I think that's a great design. Poplio is going to be the odd one out. I get that it's a water seal, but I just think it looks really awkward. It's confusing me how this thing would really walk very well on land. And then as it gets bigger, I'm just not a big fan of the Poplio line. I do like Prismarina more, but just because it's fairy typing, and I think that's cool. But just Poplio by itself, not a big fan. All right, and now we are down into the current generation, the Galar Pokemon. These are the ones that just came out the most recently. So taking a look here, we have Grookey. When these came out, people were saying, if you were going to pick Grookey, you were part of Grookey Gang. So I'd say if you're a Grookey lover here, we're going to put that in good category. I think there was a lot of problems with these Galar starters, but a lot of my problems come when they evolve. I think as just starters, a lot of these are all right. And I think Grookey's good. Next, we have Scorbunny. Scorbunny I like, but I just think it looks really awkward at times with how thin its arms and legs are. And then I know that's supposed to be like a bandage on its face because it's been getting in fights or whatever. I just think it looks weird. And then finally, we have Sobble. Okay, I know I said the designs were good, but I take it back. Sobble just looks really weak and wimpy and awkward. Like, compare Squirtle to Sobble. And it's like, I know they're supposed to be starters. I know they're supposed to be like kind of like baby Pokemon, right? That you grow up and stuff. But it's like, compare Squirtle to Sobble and Poplio. Like, I just feel like Squirtle would beat them both in a fight easily just by looking at it, not taking anything else into account. Same thing with like Totodile, right? So that's our list. But with this one, let me see what I think here. Is there anything I'd like to change? So our best tier ends up being the original starters. Definitely some bias from me on that, but hey. So we got Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and Turtwig. Yeah, I think that's pretty good here. We have more in the great tier. Not as top heavy as I was afraid it was going to be. Worst tier here we have Snivy, Poplio, and Sobble. All right. So if you guys agree with my rankings or have any suggestions for me, leave a comment down below. Go ahead and give this video a like if you'd like to see more videos like it, or maybe even a dislike if you completely disagree with my rankings. Let me know if you have any ideas for videos. There will be a new one tomorrow at noon Pacific, and another one the next day at noon Pacific, and another one the day after that. We're going every single day here right now while I have time to make these. So we're going to go ahead and sign off there, guys. Go ahead and subscribe for more videos. And this has been the guy who makes random tier lists, signing off.